good afternoon, good evening, depending where in the world you are from. Hopefully you can hear me and see me, because I can't see me. Anybody out there? Hopefully. Alrighty. Hopefully you can. All right. I think I am live. For some reason, I just can't see the actual stream itself, but I do believe I'm live because I saw it on Facebook. So there's that. Well, it's really great to be here. This one's going to be slightly different to our usual ones. Slightly different in a good way. As you all know, we did launch the Igniting Hope app just very recently, and we thought we'd jump on and just give you a little bit of the ins and outs, because there's a lot in there. It's feature packed with a lot of bits and pieces. Also, why we did the app. We've actually been thinking of this app probably for the last 3 and a bit years. And this is the reason I'm doing this one, is I actually built the app as part of my project for the Backland Leadership Academy. And quick little plug there. This app was actually my project for the Leadership Academy over this last year, which has been an amazing experience, and I recommend anyone to do the Academy. But this is one of the products of that, and we've been talking about this for a long time as an add-on to how do we take it to the next level. Obviously, we have the original and great clicker, which is amazing still, but my issue was it never really fits well in my pocket. And it was a bit of a challenge. So when I sat down, I was like, well, how do I keep the spirit of the app, but also then take it to the next level with everything else? So we'll go through all of those bits and pieces in a minute. Oh, there's an echo. Hold on. Let me see if I can fix this. Hopefully that's better. Let me know, Severin, if that is better for you. I think I may have had 2 audio sources going. So hopefully there is no echo from now on. But please do let me know if there is an echo, and I will resolve that for sure. Okay, let's assume there's no echo. All right, so I'm going to go through the app step by step right from the beginning. So this will be the most comprehensive feature walkthrough that you will see. Hey Julie, thanks. Is there still feedback even after turning that off? Oh, great, perfect. All right, amazing. Excellent. I'm glad that's resolved. Sorry, there was a second input on here, so you were getting it from 2 sources and they were slightly different to each other. Appreciate that. Thank you so much, Severin. Okay, so we're going to dive right in, and on your screen, hopefully, what's going to happen is I will stay here and my phone will appear. Let me just get it all set up and connected so that I can stream my phone to the screen here. All right, and I'm going to switch inputs right now. All right. Let me know if you can see that. It's really small on my screen, only because I'm having it scaled, but I'm going to assume you can see it large and perfect. Hey Lisa, great to have you on here as well. Julie, hi. All right, so I'm going to assume you can see it because I can see it. And this is the home screen of the app, right? This is the very beginning. This is where you jump in, and you will notice a little special Easter egg here on your app. If you have it already, you do not have this declaration of the day. It is a feature that is coming up, and basically. Oh, hold on a sec. I can fix that again. Alright, let me turn off that one. Alright, that should be better now again. I think I have turned off that second echo because there's 2 different scenes here. Sorry, because it's the with my phone streaming. Alright, Severin, I'll give it a second just to you can confirm that has gone now. That the second input is off. Alright, there we go. Now it should definitely be off. I think I've killed the correct input. All right, sorry about that. I'm switching scenes here so that you can see my phone screen. Alrighty. Okay, I'm going to assume it's gone. Please, Lord, let it be gone. All right, so there is a new Declaration of the Day feature that is not in the version that's publicly available yet. Every day it's going to pop up with a declaration of the day, and that's going to be different for everyone. So this is going to be super fun. So the declaration today for me is, my mind is renewed by God's word daily. And as I said, this is the home screen. This is the classic clicker, right? And I'm hoping you'll hear the audio. Oh, look at that. I made 25 declarations of my target. All right. As you can see, the app does have notifications and a little bit of a little thing there. So this is the classic declarations. If you open the screen, you want to do a quick declaration, capture them on the go, that's what you've got. So on here, you can obviously link to podcasts. We'll go through each of these in a second. You can link to the blog section directly. You can link to the declaration screen. You can link to the leaderboard. You can link to your stats. I'll go through all of that. And then obviously some quick links to the Igniting Hope website and Igniting Hope Academy. So that's the basics of the front home screen, right? Then if we go into the clicker, this then takes it up a notch. And as you see here, when you first launch the app, you'll get the walkthrough, which will give you a quick overview of what it is. I know people never read that and it disappears if you click somewhere else. But if you do see it, it says, hey, this is really exciting. So here it gives you your total and your total declarations all time and your current daily total. You'll see it says 31 of 100 on mine. What I've done is I have set a target here. So if I didn't set a target or my target was 0, then that would disappear. So once I've set a daily target, it's set for 31, and every time I reach a milestone of a quarter way through my target or half, I'll quickly get there in a second, and obviously hopefully you can hear the click. But every time you reach a milestone, it'll give you a little reminder like, hey, keep it going, etc. If I wanted to reset my daily count for some reason, I'd have to hold that down for a bit, or if I want to reset my all time, I would have to do that as well. I can change my target here to whatever I want. If I wanted to do 200 a day, and I know that sounds like a lot, right? But since we launched the app, we've got people who do over 700 declarations a day. I kid you not. Super exciting. It's really taken stuff to the next levels for certain people. Obviously here as well at the bottom, if you do a bunch of declarations and you aren't in the app, you can capture them afterwards. And I put my little quote here, with great power comes great responsibility. We trust you so much. You can put in as many as you please that you've done manually, or like Steve, he still loves the little tactile clicker. So he does some of them on his clicker on his walks, and then he comes and captures them afterwards. So that's the declaration screen. And if you've got questions, you can pop them in the chat as we go along. I will see them and respond as we can. Then obviously, very simple, we've got the podcast player. You can do all these things here. It's updated every time. So every time you go in, it's going to have the latest one. It'll save your progress. You'll see here, this is 44% complete. If I play here, it'll carry on and take a second to start.
Challenging people in our life.
And the voice is
I know
Steve.
in my own.
And why did I start on the one that says challenging people, right? That's crazy. All right, so you can find the podcast and a bunch of the previous ones here. Obviously, you can still find them on the web page, in your favorite podcast app, etc., etc. This just puts everything front and center to make life really easy if you're in here. Likewise, with the blog posts, same thing. This is refreshed with the newest one. So here's These People Are the Problem. If I open it up there, you can read here and then just tap at the screen. Oopsie daisy. That's my bad. Let's go back in there. Sorry, it's a little bit more challenging because I'm trying to do this streaming on my phone, and it's a little bit different. So I'm going to just dismiss that from there, and I'm going to reconnect my phone in a second. There we go. All right, so that's the blog post, and you can see all the blog history in there and read there as well. You can also go link to the full site if you want. Okay, so that's the very basics of the app, right? Then we get to some of the slightly more exciting portions. And here is the declaration section. This is essentially the heart of the app. This is exactly what it was designed for. And you'll see here, there's obviously a clicker screen here. There's a search button. There is a recording button because you can actually record yourself saying your declarations and play them back if you like. And then this is obviously access if you have some recordings there. So I'm going to start in the category section. And the simple part of it is you'll see these categories here. I'm just figuring out how I can scroll on the screen. Okay, anyway, so there's a bunch of categories here. I've unlocked a bunch of categories. So the finance category, memory, continually learning. There must be a way to scroll this. Okay, anyway, there's a ton of categories there. There's default categories. So if I'm going to switch devices here, and I'm going to just scroll to the other side so you can see where we are. If you give me 1 second, I'll show you some of the default categories, and then we'll go into one of the other ones. All right, you can also purchase all the Declare It. We have a bunch of free ones, so there's no need to specifically purchase additional ones. They're also available. If you use the app continuously, you'll get rewarded with new categories as well. So there we go. There's some ones that I can go. There we go. All right, so there's Steve's daily declarations, identity declarations. So I'll use this one here, and you can scroll down here and you'll see all these declarations here. And now the fun thing is you can click here and read that at the top, and that'll increment. But you can also, as you scroll, that'll disappear. So you can actually scroll down, and as you scroll, you can actually click on each declaration. So I am God's workmanship, and you can click on it. I am filled with His Spirit. As you go down the screen, you can click more and more, and you get to just click on it as you scroll, which makes it very easy and convenient. Obviously, we've got a bunch of free declarations in here. All the declarations that are on our website for free are in here for free as well. So that works out, and you can scroll through each of these areas. And then you can just, if you want to add them, if you click this little plus button here, you'll see it's added to your personal declarations. And let me go over there on that side now. For your personal declarations, like I just added that one on here, so that would have popped up in my little declaration section here. And then I can have custom declarations here as well. And I can create new ones. I have a few in here. I can hide this to create more space. I can export these to save them, and I can import my saved declarations. If you want to add new ones, you can just type them up in here and add the declaration, and they'll pop up inside here. So that sorts that portion out, and you can have as many categories as you want. As I say, you can record your declaration as well. Oh, this is gone south. I'm so sorry. This is because it's streaming from my phone. It is a little bit of a pain to have it show on screen. There we go. All right, there we go. It's back. So you've got that there, and you can scroll. You can delete all your declarations and sort them, add them. You can search your declarations. So if you want to search for finance, you can go down here and you can see I've got some personal ones, and then Godrich, you can click straight from here as well. And then you can also add them straight to your personal declarations from here. Every time I click the plus, it is adding that to my personal declaration. So you can see all of the cloud. Oh, there we go. You can actually see the cloud category, and I'll get there in a second. So that cloud category over here is over time. So there's 100 extra financial declarations in there if you click into the cloud category. And you can actually, we can push declarations through to the app as well. So we can have seasonal declarations, like we often have Christmas declarations. So we can actually push these out into the app as well. So if you haven't got anything there, if you click the Sync Now button, if you have signed in, and I'll get there in a second, you have to sign in to obviously sync all of these, and we'll show you what that is in a second. But then if you hit Sync Now, you'll get 100 biblical finance declarations that you can scroll through and use. So that's pretty much that. If you hit the audio button, I should be able to do it while I'm streaming. It'll just ask you if you haven't given it permission. Okay, my phone's not going to do that while I'm recording, but take my word for it. When you hit record, it'll pop up on your phone. You can start recording. You can say your declarations, and that's useful if you're going to the gym and you can't really say your declarations out loud. If you've done them before, you can just play them back, and hey, it's as good as doing it. Faith comes by hearing, right? So you might as well hear yourself saying your declarations. All right, now we've got another cool little thing. The app is fully gamified, and there is the leaderboard that you've got. Sorry, I'm going to have to go out of here just to refresh that screen. All right, there we go. All right, so once you sign in the app, you have access to the leaderboard, right? And this keeps track of your declarations. You can compete against everyone else. And we've divided this into these 4 categories, right? We've got yesterday, last 7 days of this month, and all time. And you can see we've got 2 screens here. I'm just going to focus on the global leaderboard for a second. And this is yesterday's declaration by people, right? So you can see people are really declaring their way into success here. And that'll refresh itself every day. That refreshes a couple of times a day with updated leaderboard, updated with your totals, with everyone else's totals. It'll tell you your rank on that particular leaderboard. So mine is pretty lowly. I did 27. And my rank is 22. On the last 7 days, my rank is 26. And you can see everyone else here and the top 3. And then this month, obviously, as well. And then likewise, all time. And the reason we keep the all time there as well is, and the other categories, so everyone can always compete. So you can always compete on yesterday, last 7 days, and this month. Obviously, if you get the app 6 months after somebody else on the all time, they're going to be higher than you, but you can always compete in these categories here, which is why we have that. And then obviously it shows you here these 2 icons. One is the current streak and one is your best streak. And then your current badge is underneath there. So Chris Leland is a superstar declarer. She's currently at Firestorm. Shana Torres is an Inferno. And I'll show you where these all come from in a second. So that's the global leaderboard. And then those rewards I mentioned, I'm going to come back to the challenges in a second. And this is the global leaderboard, right? If you're a Spark badge, that's you've made 10 declarations. Flame, you've made 100. Torch, you made 200 declarations. Blaze, 500, and so on and so on. Inferno is 1,000 until you hit the unseen realm, which is 200,000 total declarations, right? You are a master. You're arcing and sparking at 10,000. So for every milestone, you'll get a badge pop up and everyone else gets to see that badge as well. And if you don't want anyone to see you on the leaderboard, or you want to see the leaderboard, but you don't want anyone to see you, you can actually hide yourself on the leaderboard as well. I'll show you all of that as well. So we have 2 different achievements for badges. We have declaration milestones, and that's how many declarations you've done. But then we've got streak achievements, right? So declaring for 7 days, and each of these unlocks most of these unlock a different reward. Okay, so you've got Torchbearer, declaring for 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, 100 days, eventually being the Firestorm Anchor. And this is a streak, right? So you've had to have done that for 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, or 365 days every single day. All right, so that streak is calculated. That's your best streak. And then that unlocks rewards. Like here, I've got the 7-day streak and I've unlocked my 5 bonus declarations. Every 30 days you add to your streak after that 7-day one, you get to choose 8 categories from Declare It that we give you free. So if you declare it for 30 days, you get 8 categories from Declare It. If you go for another 30 days, you get to your 60-day streak, you get another 8 categories that you get to choose from Declare It, and so on and so on and so on. And if you get to 365 days, you have got every single declaration from Declare It access to. And that opens up here on these categories. So you can see these reward categories. Hi, Shah, great to see you as well. So these categories here, so these are unlocked categories. Anything that's green with a little trophy, that's been unlocked either through a streak or if I've purchased those. I don't want to wait and I just want all of these extra things. I can purchase it here in the rewards, and I can say, hey, I don't want to wait for this. Okay, I can't do it because it's there, but it would come up with a modal where you could buy it. There we go. And it will show you what you can buy. That's the subscription one. But if that'll come up, both of them will come up because that's the way it is. All right, so that'll give you your rewards, and you don't have to buy them. You can unlock those just through streaks. So they're just pure rewards, or you can choose to unlock and skip the wait if you want to shortcut that process. Then we have these stats over here. So this gives you your sort of history in the app. So so I did 225 counter clicks, I did quick declarations from the home screen, from the counter page, from the declaration counter on the declarations page, whether I clicked actual declarations. So it just shows you what you've been doing, right? Gives you a history. This doesn't get synced to us. This is just your own personal ones. In the future, I may consider taking some of those and saying, hey, we've got a declaration of the week or the top declarations, declarations that people are always clicking. And we may do something like that. But right now, this is just purely for your own record. You can see your history in the app, your total declarations, your total today, your daily average, your streak details, and your achievements. So the stats essentially is exactly that. So you've got the rewards there, and you've got the badges and the stats on the rewards screen. I want to jump back here to the challenges quickly. And this is a new feature, and it is available in your publicly available portion here. You can see I've got some challenges here. So this is, you can set up challenges with your friends, or we can set up a challenge and we can have people join the challenge publicly. Okay, what you can't see is you can't scroll and see any available challenge. It's very intentional. We want people, like, it's either us who are creating the challenge or you and your friend group or people that you know, and you can share that through social media or however. So I'll show you, you can see all your challenges that I've participated in here. And at the end of the time, you can choose how long to have this challenge. So I'm going to create a new challenge. I'm going to call it test public. And this is blah, 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 blah. And I want to last for, oh, little minor issue there. I'll fix that later. I can have it for 7 days, 30 days, or for a year. So I'm going to just say I want a 7-day challenge. I'm going to create the challenge. And then what's going to happen is it's going to give me a code here, right? This is my, and I can share this straight from here, and I can share it to, well, I'm going to share it to myself in this instance. All right, there we go. And then I can share that, and I will now have that message, and I can share it with my friends. So if you know the people that you want to share it with, that's amazing. You can share it on social media. We will create some challenges, like a weekly challenge that we can do, and we can send the link out on our social channels, and you can join it from there. So, hey Paul, great to see you as well. So this is an amazing thing to be able to compete with your friends, or we can create challenges for a period of time, for the week, for the month, and we can see how that goes. And then you get to see how you're faring in the challenge. If I click in here, you'll see oh, that's a bad example because there was only me in that challenge. All right, so there we go. We had a week challenge, and this was just a test run when we were doing it. I've left it in here. I haven't deleted it, just to show you an example. And then it shows you who won the challenge, first, second, third, and everyone else in the challenge, and how many declarations they did in those 7 days. So that's the challenge feature here. And obviously you can leave the challenge, or you can continually share the challenge as you need and share the code. So that's the challenge screen. And I'm really excited about that because that's really fun, right? What better way to get motivated to doing it with your friends? One, the app was built around motivating to get things done. And I've got so many testimonies of people just saying, man, I was struggling with my declarations. Now, all of a sudden, I can do them, and it's really easy. And it is really, it's at your fingertips. Every declaration, you don't have to remember them, you don't have to write them down. You literally open up the app, start declaring. You've got a base to declare off. There's probably a couple hundred, 200 or 300 free declarations, or at least a couple hundred free declarations. And then, as I say, you can unlock after 7 days, you unlock some finance declarations. After 30 days, you unlock 8 categories from Declare It. So you can really rack them up fast, and eventually you'll be creating and using your own declarations. All right, let me go into the settings here because there's a few things to notice. I mentioned, obviously, if you want to use the synced declarations plus the contest and the leaderboard, you would need to sign into the app. Okay, that's obviously just the basic requirement. And you can sign in a couple of ways. I am going to sign out here. Well, actually, I'll just tell you. Instead of signing out, you can see I'm signed in here. You can sign in via Google. You can sign in using an email password. You can sign in via Apple. So you have a way for every platform that's convenient. So on an Apple device, you can sign in using Apple and hide your email if you don't want to give us your email. And we don't do anything with this data. This is just linked so that we can, this is all going to the cloud and stored on the cloud, obviously, in a database. so that we can keep track of your declarations for the leaderboard primarily. That's pretty much all it's used for, is for the leaderboard. As I mentioned, you can hide yourself from the leaderboard if you want to participate on the leaderboard, but you don't want to be visible on the leaderboard. We have given you an option here in settings to hide yourself from the leaderboard. So in other words, you still get all the benefits, but nobody gets to see you if you're a little bit tentative, right? Then you can turn the sound on and off, you can turn the haptics on and off, and you can turn push notifications. Okay, so those push notifications, do not worry, we will never spam you. That is just something that we can use, and we can send out a push notification to users saying, hey, there's new declarations available for the season. And that's the only reason it asks for notification permission. Well, actually, there's two reasons for notification permission. One is for these push notifications so that you can see them. It's not the only reason, okay? Underneath here, you'll need notifications for declaration of the day, okay? That's the new feature that is not in your public app version. You can customize the time of day and you can turn that on or off. It'll still display in your app, so when you go in, you'll see it. It just won't pop up on your sort of screen and say, hey, this is the declaration. Much like if you have the Bible app, verse of the day, think like that, and that's how it works. Then you've got these individual reminders, and this is the main reason we need notification access. This is literally what you need. This is the reminder that's going to pop up and say, hey, it's time to do your declarations. And you can set multiple reminders, and we've set by default 2 times a day, morning and evening. I think it is 9 a.m. and 7 p.m. in your local time zone. And you can add another 10 reminders if you want, just to say, and all it's going to do is pop up and say, hey, it's time to do your declarations. And that's been probably the single biggest game changer for people, is that little reminder that pops up and says, hey, it's time to do your declarations. It's amazing that the littlest thing can do that. And you can obviously delete that. You can add a new one and say, okay, a new one has been done, and then I can customize the time, which it's not, my little wheelie's not popping up on here. As I say, it's because I'm streaming from my phone, but you can change that time to whatever time of the day you want that to pop up, and that'll do that. Then, why do I have 2 notifications for push features? If you want to see the walkthroughs again that you dismissed right when you started, you can show those guides again. This is a duplicate of the push notifications, but this is the actual push notifications. I will resolve that. Then you've got the premium features, right? The app subscription, you get that when you go straight in the app, and we'll talk about that in a minute. And then the rewards unlock. This is the paid $14.99 to purchase essentially all the declarations in Declare It, all 96 categories from Declare It, and you can purchase that instead of waiting for the rewards to unlock. And this will tell you your premium status. Over here, if you're changing devices, we've added the ability to create a backup, right? And restore that backup. So this saves your audio recordings, like it does mention underneath here, backs up your personal declarations. I would suggest though, you can also export those from your personal declarations tab on the declaration screen. I would do that and create the backup. It saves your totals, your streaks, your progress, or all your app settings, your preferences. You can save that to Google Drive, you can save it to iCloud. You can share it and download it and save it on your phone. But that's primarily if you're changing devices and you want to save all your stuff in essence. So that's really important if you're changing devices, because we don't save any of your data, okay? We only get your totals. So we save, and that's just a privacy thing. We don't want your recordings, we don't want all of that, but it also means you need to take responsibility for them. So if you want to save those, if you're changing devices or something else, or just create a backup every now and then to save it for yourself. We wanted to give you an option so that you can save it and obviously restore it back. If for some reason your leaderboard isn't syncing, and this is really, it only is like, for some reason it's not syncing, and there shouldn't be any reason, but you can force a reset of the leaderboard once a day. So you can come into settings here and force that to happen. Obviously, you can rate the app in the App Store, you can share the app, and we'd love you to share it. If this app is really blessing you, I'd love to rate the app and share the app, because everybody needs this. We know it works exceptionally well, and people are being transformed. I got just a testimony the other day. My daughter was out, she was with somebody else, and they said, hey, do you know about this app? She said, yeah. She said, my dad actually did it for his project. He said, well, it's amazing. I had the best day I've had in a long time by just declaring. So we know it works. Then I'll get to the bottom here. Okay, you guys don't have this admin section, so ignore that. This little danger zone here, if you say, hey, I really want to start all over again, if you hit reset all app data, it will basically take the app back, including your declarations, and wipe your data from the server back to 0. Okay, I can't help you if you do that. Once you've done that, it's gone. This deletes everything in your app and on the server, and you basically start from 0. If you want to delete your account fully, in other words, you want to say, hey, I don't want to be involved, but I want to make sure you don't have my details anymore, you can just hit delete account, and that will do the same effect. It'll reset the entire app like the other one, but it'll also delete your account. So if you wanted to ever sign back in, you'd have to recreate your account. What it doesn't do, if you have a subscription, that subscription is controlled directly by the App Store or the Play Store, and I'll talk about the Play Store version in a second. This is obviously the iOS version for iPhone, and there is an Android version, so do not worry, you haven't been left out. It is fully functional. It's in final testing. Just because the rules are slightly different, we had to make sure we got this one done first. It's exactly the same in the Play Store, but for your subscription, you need to, and it'll warn you if you say delete account, it'll say, hey, if you have an active subscription, you must cancel it in the Play Store or the App Store, and it'll take you and link you back to that. So that's how you can delete your account. And your subscription is managed in the App Store or the Play Store. If you go into the App Store, click your little face, it'll show you subscriptions, and you can cancel and change your subscription from there. So because that's just how Apple does it, I can't do anything from here. And why do we charge, right? Well, we have costs, obviously development costs to do it. We have running costs for cloud storage, for the leaderboard, and everything else. And then there's all those other things. It's just the details. We've got to revise the app every so often, and for new features that are coming down the pipeline as well. So that's why we charge, and we did it less than the price of a cup of coffee. It's $2.99 a month if you want to take it monthly, because not everyone wants to pay a little bit more upfront, or you can pay $29.99 annually, and that gives you the 2 months free. So that you pay the $29.99 for 12 months, and you get the sort of bonus 2 months free. And you know what? We gladly pay $6. I gladly pay $6 for a cup of coffee anyway. So we made it as cheap as humanly possible, and that it also is continually self-sustaining, and we can continually grow and change and improve the app over time. And then obviously as things change, the App Store rules change, and we've got to revise all these things and everything else. So that's why it is paid as well. And that is pretty much every feature that I can think of that I've gone through on every screen. And if you have any questions, obviously pop them in the chat. We'll monitor the chat for a few days, because I know not everyone watches this live. But we wanted to put this out there just so that you have a tool to take your declarations to the next level. We know it works, and we would love you to try it out and test it out. You do get a 7-day free trial, so you can try it 7 days, full featured, everything in there. If you don't like it, you can cancel the trial and you're good to go. So you can choose whether to do that for a month or for the year, and you'll get a 7-day trial either way. So you can try the app out fully and give it a whirl. I know it's going to bless you. So I don't know, for the people that are on, if you have any questions or comments. I have gone through pretty much everything. And then just speaking of the Android version, as I mentioned, there is a full-featured Android version. It is available. If you would like to test it, reach out to us, send us a message, either on email or here on Facebook, and then we will get you access to that. We still have to go through a period of time for testing in the Android Play Store. So if you would like to get in on that trial, on that beta group testing, let us know and we can do that. But it is coming. It's in the Play Store, not for the public. You need to be approved for it. But there is an Android version coming, so don't worry. It works functionally the same. It is actually exactly the same code between both versions of the app, which is the plus side. Yeah. Thanks, Shaw. Yeah, it's amazing. So yeah, if there are no other questions, then as I say, leave them in the chat and we will get back to you. But thanks for joining, everyone. Really appreciate you.